Ezekiel. Listen, don't miss this series. Do not miss this series. Listen, I don't say that about every series, and y'all know that about me. I say, hey, come and do your beat, but I never say, don't miss this series for two reasons. Number one, this is my last series of the year. 4 weeks, and I'm out of your way. We're going to have our marathon of ministers one more time. I don't know if I'm going to do that every year. God touch my heart one more time this year. Do our marathon of ministers. We're going to have co-pastor open up on the first Sunday in November. We're going to have elder trailer on the second Sunday in November. We're going to have minister trailer on the third Sunday of November. We're going to have a break for Christmas. We're going to have a play, Christmas play. Co-pastor's going to come back the Sunday before New Year's. And next time you hear my voice in the form of a sermon will be on New Year Eve service. And that'll be a Thursday or Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I don't know. I think it's a Tuesday night. So don't miss the series for that reason. And then secondly, this series is a segue into our next year's sermon. God told me that I need to teach the church that the devil is real. We are under illusion that he has stopped doing his trickery, and we have blamed ourselves long enough for the person, that the problems that we have in our life. And God says that people have been up on an illusion, and we're going to break this illusion right now in the name of Jesus. And he said, not only did they forget that the devil's real, they forgot the spirit is real also. So next year, I'm opening up a whole new series titled, The Spirit is Real. There's some things that you should lock into and gain from him that we haven't locked into and gained because we walk around unlocked and unloaded. So listen, do not miss this. Do not miss this. We're going to do our best to put this one on the app today. If you don't have the app, download the app. I'm going to try to put everyone on the app, but I can't promise you that. Do not say, well, I'm going to miss service and kiss the app. Do not expect that. I want you to come and sit in this and learn from this. Bring your pen, bring your paper, bring your knowledge, bring your wisdom. We're going to increase it. Amen? So real quick, Ezekiel 28, 12th verse. Ezekiel 28, 12th verse. We're going to read from 12 to 15 verse. Keep playing that there for a little moment until I get my title. That's anointing, young man. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep what you're doing in your private time. Everyone, I want you to read with magnificent authority. Ready? Read. Son of man, take up a lament concerning the king of Tyre and say to him, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You are the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You are in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorns you. Cornelian, chrysolite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your setting and mountains were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed and a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were the holy mount of God. You were walking among the fiery stones. Everyone out there real loud say, the devil. Say it real loud like you mean it. Say, the devil is real. One more time, everyone say, the devil is real. As you take your seats, I'm going to talk to you today real quick on a small lesson today. Not a whole lot of substance, but a lot of content. Not a lot of content, but a lot of substance. I'm going to talk to you real quickly on a message titled, Who is He? Write it down. Everyone say, who is He? Amen. So this whole subject, the devil is real. Write down the word devil. Write down the word devil real quick. The word devil. Devil. How many of y'all still believe there's a devil? Amen. How many of y'all would agree that some of us forget sometimes that he is out there doing his old trickery and he has not stopped doing his work? And a lot of us don't think about it anymore. And I remember when I was a kid, we always pictured the devil as a red person with these horns and a long tail, spiked tail with a pitchfork. And how many of y'all know the devil doesn't look like that? Everyone said devil's real. Write down the word devil. The word devil, by definition, the word devil, this is very important. The word devil means a slanderer, and an arch enemy of man's spiritual interests. Everyone say a slanderer. Slander. Write down the word slander. It's very important. The word slander is very important. And it says an arch enemy. Arch enemy. Now listen, it didn't say of man. It didn't say of man. He says the arch enemy of what? Man's spiritual interests. Somebody say man's spiritual interests. What you must understand, this is not a war between you and the devil. This is a war between the devil and God. And you just a pawn in between them. And he's going to prove a point to God that I'm going to take them before you get them. And so he's not out for you. He's out for the things that's attracting you to God. So listen, if he gains your attention and he gets you to leave God, he still don't want you. He's done his job. So don't get in your mind that he wants you. If some people out there worshiping the devil, well, they just helping him, but he still don't want them. He wants them out of his way to prove to God that they do not love you. They do not love you. If you take Job and you take everything from him, he won't worship you. I'm asking you a question. Are you proving him right? If God take everything you have, everything you own, will you start worshiping him? If God take everything he's given you already, would you start worshiping him? And he's out to prove to God that they're only connected to you by what you do for them, not because of who you are. And why do you think God says, I created you to worship me, not praise me? Because praise is what I've given you. Worship is for who I am.
Yeah.
Without what I've given you, yeah, it's good to praise God. We find ourselves praising God because, God, I praise you for the car. I praise you for the house. God, I praise you for the marriage. But as soon as we mistake worship for praise and praise for worship, because as soon as those things stop, our praise stopped, but our worship never stopped. Right. What's worship? What's worship? Worship is not a verbal. Worship is not an audio. Worship is an action. Worship is I show up and serve in spite of what God say do. I show up and do what I'm supposed to do in spite of what God gives me. I'm showing up because God showed up for me. And when he showed up for me in my life, it's such a magnificent time, so I'm going to keep showing up for him.
Yes, sir.
Somebody say, I'm a worshiper. So you got to realize the devil is a slanderer or arch enemy of man's spiritual interest. Write down the word slander. The word slander is a false spoken statement. The word slander is a false spoken statement. A false spoken statement. Very important. Everyone say with me, say a false spoken statement. And then the next thing I want you to write down is the word spiritual interest. The word spiritual interest. Your spiritual interest is what God has placed on your heart. We talked about last week, and I was really fighting myself by putting the chair back up here, but I didn't want to take your mind back into the old sermon, but this sermon lines right up with the last sermon. It lines right up with the last sermon. But someone say spiritual interest. Now, spiritual interest, you got to remember, spiritual interest is not your interest. You want what you want, but not necessarily what you want is what God wants. But if God has placed it in your heart, usually when God places it in your heart, usually you don't qualify for it. Not only do you not qualify for it, you don't know how you're going to get it.
Yes, sir.
But for some reason, it's in my heart. And we talked about that last week with the chair up here. That chair was the thing God called you to. And the thing was, we got to take ownership back of it. Everyone say, take ownership. Take ownership. That means I lost it, I dropped it because something happened in my life. And I told you last week, and I should have brought my chair back up here. It might be back up here next week. I said, grab a hold to it. And to take ownership is grab back a hold of what God has for you. And the way we lost it is because we left God. Somebody say, that chair represented my life or the things God has planned for my life. So whether it was a job, whether it was a car, whether it was a house, whether it was a relationship, whether it was a ministry, how many of y'all know for a fact God got a ministry in you? God has a ministry in you. And it's not that, okay, let me kind of redefine ministry, because a lot of people think, well, if I say ministry, it means you got to go open a church. No, ministry is a call in your life. The word minister, write the word minister down. Write that word down real quick. The word minister, by definition, is to fill a void in someone's life, or to fill a void. If you minister, you fill a void. If you minister, you fill a void. If I had, you ever seen a hole in the wall? Let's say a hole in the wall. The moment you pass that wall, you minister to that wall, you fill the void in that wall. How many of y'all see people walking around with holes in their lives? Now listen, the specific thing about that hole in their life, how many of y'all see them walk around with holes in their life that you had in your life, but God filled the void in your life? Amen. And you know now the secret sauce to success. And you go to them, whether it's in a marriage, whether it's in their money, whether it's in their relationship, whether it's in a job, career, church, and you know for a fact I've been through that. That looks familiar, and I know how I had this situation fixed for me in my life. And when you go to them and you speak into their life and you fill that void, you just minister to them. Amen. And whatever that is, if you successfully came out of it, you're now a professional minister in that area of your life. How many of y'all know for a fact that you're a professional minister now? That God has blessed you in an area of your life. Not even if you don't do it, but how many of y'all know you have something to help somebody with? Amen. Hey, I got about 4 or 5 of y'all. Somebody say, I have something I can help people with. Now listen, I want you to understand this. So a spiritual interest is something God has placed in your life. And this thing God placed in your life that you may not thought that you deserved, and you may not thought that you can obtain it, but it's a hunger there. Now, let me let you out. I'm going to take my time with this. Let me help you out one more time. Listen, that usually is a bait for you to maneuver in the direction God has for you. So usually it's not the item that God's calling you to, it's the area. Mm-hmm. And so God would bait you to an item trying to get you to an area in your life to where you can advance and get better and do what God called you to do. And listen, and so the devil know if they come to this area, not particular item, they come to this area, that means they have elevated their life and their relationship with him, and now they're at a new dimension, and I have to come against it because the more they keep advancing, the more committed they'll come to him. So it's my interest is to disconnect you from the taste and the desire of that one thing that God has for you. Somebody say disconnect. So how does he do it? How does he do it? Listen to this. The devil is a slanderer. He speaks false statements. Somebody say spiritual interest. Spiritual interest is what God has placed in your heart. What he does, he makes false statements. Listen. Very important. Do not move too quick. Hang out here with me for a second. He doesn't lie on you. Because if he lied on you, it was not having any power. I've learned in my life right now, there's a difference between truth and fact. Here's allowing you. If you want to take notes, there's a lot of note opportunities here. Write down the difference between truth and fact. I cannot change fact. Fact is everything I've done. Everything I've done. The fact is, I can't change that. And the devil will use the fact. But let me tell you, it's a difference between fact and truth. How many of you have some facts you're not proud of? Amen. Just because you're not proud of them don't mean they're still not who you was. Amen. It's a difference between fact and truth. Truth is who I am. Amen. And who I can be. Truth is I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. Somebody say truth. So listen, the devil won't lie on you, but he will lie about the thing God called you to. Yes. The key thing, he will not lie on you, but he will slander your mind about the thing that God called you to. So his goal in life is to make you not want. Go ahead and get my chair. Stop playing with me. I'm going to get my chair. I'm going to preach with that chair for 8 weeks in a row. We're going to preach with it. Or it'll be 7. Tamika, I won't break it, I promise you. Sister Tamika told me last week, said, Bishop, you're going to break that chair. This represents, how many of y'all know for a fact there's something in your life that God called you to that you didn't necessarily, you like it, you love it, but sometimes you feel like you're disqualified for it, or sometimes you feel like you didn't qualify for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whatever it is, whether it was a house, whether it was a car, or a relationship, I use these tangible items because God would use these tangible items to move you.
Yes, he will.
He'll use them to move you. And listen, he'll move the flesh to position the spirit.
Yes, sir.
Because when the flesh depends on God, the spirit benefits. So if I can begin, I told you last time, if I want to get somebody to depend on God, I don't say confess your mouth, believe in your heart, Jesus died across your sins. I say depend on God for something. Ask God for one thing that you know for a fact you desire, you need. Maybe not you won't, maybe you don't think you deserve it, but I need this. I need this. And if you tell God, listen, the flesh desires that, and by me appreciating the fact I can't get it, daddy can't get it, mama can't get it, husband can't get it, wife can't get it, nobody can get this from me, but I need it. Yes. My flesh desires it. And if God can get it to me, now my spirit depends on it. Because my flesh positioned me in a place that the spirit got fed. Now what happens is, I get in situations where I try to do it on my own, and I lose it, and this is the best place. I had a conversation this morning with a young lady, part of this ministry, and I told her, I said, the best thing ever happened is that right there, because now they're going to find out what it's like not to have God. It's one of the most greatest inevitable processes in the world for you to gain stuff from God. Listen, if you gain stuff from mom and daddy, I may get a little nervous to leave church. I may get a little nervous to stop praying because you hadn't never connected yet. But if you gain stuff from God, I get excited when you walk away because can't nobody do it like God. Nobody. So I get back and I'm just waiting. I'm counting down. I set the clock on him. 10, 9, 8, 7. Bishop, I'm back, Bob, because I can't do it without him.
My God.
I can't do it without him. And the devil will make a mistake and let you grab a hold to it. And even though I'm trying to knock it out your hands, he can't replace it. My God. You got to follow this. He can't replace it. And what he tries to do is get you to let it go and fill it with things that still feels an empty void. Why? Because he can't minister to you. It satisfies the flesh but leaves a hole in the spirit. So that's why you go to a more paying job, but yet you're less satisfied. Because you left the area you were called to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why was I called this area? Because somebody around you, you're supposed to minister to the way God bless you.
Yes, sir.
You were so busy trying to gain the apples, you lost the seed. And the devil knows this. And he takes for granted your eyes, and I'm going to use your eyes because the lust of the eyes is how I pull you from the prize. You got to keep up. You got to keep up. This is some great information. And listen, I apologize I didn't give it to you earlier, but thank you for showing up this morning. Amen. Somebody say slanderer. Spiritual interest. What he does, he doesn't lie on you, but he will lie and say, you don't deserve that. Amen. He'll lie and say, that's too much for you. He'll lie and say, you're too good for that. He'll lie and say, it's too good for you. And you begin to believe the thing he said versus what God called you to. Somebody say spiritual interest. So somebody say real. Write the word real down. Well, you good. You good. Somebody write the word real down. Well, real is actual existing as a thing occurring in fact. He actually exists. He actually exists. Play that clip for me.
You never knew. That was his power. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
I heard that so many years ago. And I began to prepare for this message. It rung in my mind. And listen, I didn't even look for it, but it fell in my lap the other day and said, thank you, Holy Ghost. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing you he don't exist. And what we start doing, I messed up. It's my fault. I keep doing this. I keep doing this. Can I tell you a secret? There is no good in you, but also there's no evil in you. The flesh desires what the flesh desires. From the day you was born, all you knew was just who you was. It took the devil to encourage you to do something wrong, and it took God to encourage you to do what's right. And so anything you do, you have to understand it's under the influence. Somebody say, under the influence. I heard a man say the other day on the radio station, he said this statement, he said, listen, this is one of my biggest things. I told my wife this as well the other day. I said, right now, social media is full of pastors and preachers who don't go to church. And they got members all over the world who have left church because they are now under the influence. And the problem is, he says here, all influence ain't good influence. Right. He said, because whenever you get pulled up by the police and they pull you over and you've been drinking, they'll put you in jail because you was what? Under the what? Influence. He said, whenever you go get a shot from the people at the doctor for your influenza shot, you are under the influence of this disease. What happens is, if you're under the influence, is it good influence? So you can ask yourself, the thing is, I don't know good or evil. Oh, what wretched man that I am. I need the spiritual influence to get me to do good, or I need the demonic influence to get me to do bad. What I need everyone in this building to see today, keep with me for about 5 more minutes before I shift over to my main lesson today. I need you to see today, listen here, is that the devil, or let me go ahead and put it like this here, there is a spiritual entity out there encouraging you to do wrong every time you do wrong. Now, just because he may not be omnipresent, somebody say omnipresent.
Omnipresent.
The word omnipresent, write that down. Omnipresent, O-M-N-I, present, P-R-E-S-E-N-T. Even though he's not omnipresent, doesn't mean he can be a whole lot of places when he needs to be there. Because he have a whole lot of demonic imps that work with him. And they get you going, and when you're about to fizzle out, they show back up. Right when you decide to stop smoking, all hell break loose and everybody show up in your life, and all of a sudden you say, I need a cigarette. That wasn't by accident. It wasn't by chance. Right when you say you're going to have a diet, you show up to work, and all of a sudden somebody's birthday show up, and they bring up everything in the world, and you look up, somebody said, that wasn't by chance. Wasn't by accident. Especially if God is calling you to lose weight. Especially if God is calling you. Because listen, listen, some things can't grow in certain environments. Listen. I love the Holy Ghost. You can, listen, some things can grow in some environments and you can change your environment without moving. So just because I'm in the right place, I can delay God's development because I let some things happen in my environment and what's going in the environment, and I killed the atmosphere of development and the atmosphere of growth, so I'm killing progress. But the same place, I can let some things go and change my atmosphere and make it a conducive atmosphere for growth and development, and now I can start moving forward. Some things you can't do just because other folks get away with it. It's your call ear to change your outcome and let you do it, and I can leave and go switch to somebody else because you catch the eye. You with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Someone say slanderer.
Slanderer.
It's real. He's a real devil. The devil is real. And what happens is really the title of this intended to inform each and every person who hears it that there is actually a deity or a spiritual force. Someone say deity.
Deity.
Now this is what I gotta get you to see. We'll believe as angels. Angels are all around me, camping, buying. The angels around me. Someone say camping, buying. Anybody ever said that prayer before? And when I say a camping, buying, I think about angels soldiering up all around me and not letting anything come in. God camping, buying angels around me that I cannot see, but they got me protected. It was a guardian angel. We'll believe that. But yet we won't believe there's a devil that's an angel as well. That's not camping and abiding around you feel good. Somebody say he's real. We look at our husbands and we look at our husbands, things he do, and you realize it wasn't him. Even Jesus knew, don't attack the man, attack the spirit within the man. He didn't say, get thee behind me, Peter. He said, get thee behind me, Satan. Peter, you're my friend. Satan, you're not. Somebody say, it's not always the person. That's the problem. It's the spirit within the person. The wrong that I don't want to do, I end up doing. Oh, wretched man that I am. Somebody say, there is a spiritual attack in your life.
Spiritual attack on your life.
Listen to this. This is another one I hate to hear, but it's true. We don't, somebody say, under the influence.
Under the influence.
The devil does not have to be omnipresent if he's in your generation. Say it again. The devil does not have to be omnipresent if he's already hit your generation or your family. If he hit grandma, somebody say, under the influence. If he hit grandma, and grandma was under the influence, and grandma raised your mama, now mama up under the influence, now mama raised you, now you up under the influence, he didn't have to be there to hit you. It's in your whole, and we call them generational curses. And what happened is, you got hit with the influence the whole family got. And you wonder why you don't even like your mom, but you talk like her. You wonder why you don't like being a met your grandma, but you act just like her. It's been in your bloodline. And he's hit, okay, I'm gonna get out of there, because I just messed up. No, he's not in your bloodline, because the devil can't touch your blood. The only Holy Spirit can use your blood. He hit your emotional connection to everybody connected to you, and you develop on the outside what they had. Now you walk around acting just like them. And when a pastor comes along and shifts this, or when a prophet comes along and shifts this, it angers the enemy. Y'all remember when I was here? I'm gonna talk. Listen, my wife got in trouble. Me and my wife got in trouble when I was in pastor administrator because of my youth ministry. We got in there one Wednesday, and we're going to talk about demons. And we're going to talk about how demons are real and some exposures we've had. How I remember when I was living in Drew's Landing. Anybody down here from Drew's Landing? So the Dendra was from Drew's Landing. So I remember being in Drew's Landing, and I literally seen a demon shake our whole house. Long story. Like some of y'all right now getting uncomfortable. This little child got uncomfortable and told her mama, and the mama had one of the most weirdest things that she ever said to me as a youth pastor. What are you doing teaching my child about demons? I wanted to come back and say, what are you doing not teaching your child about demons? The very demon that's going to attack your child and let her have premarital sex, I'm trying to deal with it, but yeah, you want to stop it.
Yes, my God.
So listen, I forget what I was going with that. But in the understanding is that, I forget what I was, but it was good too, but I don't know what it was.
Bring it back.
Somebody said under the influence.
Under the influence.
And so what you gotta realize is that whenever the devil comes in and do what he do, he's trying to separate you from what God calls you. I'm trying to get there. Y'all just pray for me. I was there. But anyways, what was I saying before I got there? I don't want to lose this. Emotions. Hit your emotions. Generational curses. We're going to get there. I'm going to get back to my notes and we're going to find out how to get back there. Someone say that this title is intended to encourage you that the devil is real. Yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Listen. Okay, here we go. So the thing is that as a pastor, whenever a pastor comes in and he disrupts that, I love the Holy Ghost. He don't let me wait long. When he disrupts that, the devil gets mad. Now, let me let you know something happened. How many of y'all been with me since the shopping center? Because I'm about to tell you this, and some of y'all may get a little nervous. I'm going to tell you anyways. And I didn't really talk about it a lot then, because I wasn't as informed as I am now. Listen, whenever I came in, I had someone tell me, you are disturbing old demons. by coming to that town. Some demons have been laying dormant for years because they knew they had generations for years. You've come in and disrupt that. And the devil ain't happy. So I head down the highway, traveling, coming from work, heading back home on Beltway 8. Somebody said, the devil will come and get you. But thank God. See, it just makes them uncomfortable. I'm going to preach anyway because the devil is real. Getting down Beltway 8, minding my business. Drive down this highway all the time. All of a sudden, a crazy rain falls. And some of y'all say, why did God let that happen? I believe that God let things happen to show you how awesome He is.
Amen.
So I hit this puddle of water, Beltway 8 going about 70 miles per hour. My car literally hydroplanes and smashes into the wall. Listen, my car began to flip. I held the wheel and stayed conscious every flip. Remember every flip, remember every turn, remember everything. Every airbag in the car went off except for the driver's airbag. If that airbag went off, it would have knocked me out, it would have messed me up. Every airbag went off. Listen, I would have had a scratch on me. If the airbag would have came out, I would have had a scratch on me. Listen, and so I'm driving the highway, and all of a sudden, in the middle of Beltway 8, at rush hour time, now one car hit me in the middle of the road. Cars in the front, cars in the back. No car hit me. The man was coming to get me out the car. I bust the car open, climbed out, jumped out, and everybody froze because they trying to figure out how this joker just get out this car with no problems. No blood, no scratch, no scar. Nothing. I called my bishop and let him know because my wife tried to make me go to the doctor and said, nope, I'm not going to the doctor because it's Wednesday night. I got to go teach Bible study. They took my car and left me on the side of the highway. My wife had to come pick me up. Listen, and thank God, guess what? Guess how much they paid on my car? Everything, and I went and got a check for $5. I benefit from the rich. Now only, listen, and so guess what happened? I put that in my gas tank. The devil wanted to get me. I called Bishop. Bishop said, I told you there's old demons that's in that area, and they don't want you there. And they want to take your life. But if you stay in the will of God, God got you covered. Got a new car, same model, rolling, have no problems out of it, and God protected me. Didn't use that car to teach another lesson, let it get repoed. Another lesson is a whole other sermon. So, okay, y'all know what y'all know ready. Somebody said the devil's for real.
The devil is for real.
So I'm taking by chance of pissing him off again. Yeah, I said it. By teaching this whole lesson. And he thought by delaying my wife, he was going to stop me, but Joker, you a lie. Once I ain't look up there, I said lie. Don't look up at him. He up under my feet, doggone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bishop.
Somebody said he's for real. We walk around the house depressed and down because we're blaming us. I'm not giving you an out, but I am giving you an excuse. The out that you better act right and get out of that situation. But the excuse is, it wasn't you. It was the demon around you. You just fell for the okie doke. But get out of that mess. See, preachers can't preach about this. Because preach about this, you lose folks. Because all they're going to hear about cars and houses and clothes. But the devil gives good gifts. The Bible says, if the devil gives good gifts, why can't I give good gifts? So don't think the gift that made you anointed. It may have delayed you. I'm reminded of the old domino players. And old domino players had a saying that stuck in my spirit. All money ain't good money. So just because you got it, I mean it was good for you.
Yes, sir.
So somebody say, I got to get out of this. I'm still in my introduction. Somebody say, under the influence. Listen. I got to jump in. So what happens is, for us to come against attack, and we keep losing this. Now listen, last series about getting back ownership. I'm getting back what God had for me. I'm getting it back what the devil took from me. But this series, how not to let go no more. How do you make sure you don't let go anymore? Because apparently something keeps getting in between you and what God has for you. How many of y'all are tired of that? I'm tired of the delays.
Yes, sir.
I'm tired of the delays. I'm tired of being held back. I'm tired of the setbacks. You know what's worse than a delay? I don't mind being delayed. Just don't set me back. I don't want to be pushed back. I'll be delayed for a minute because sometimes delay is a good thing because I got to pause and just catch my breath. But I don't want to go backwards. Someone said, I'm tired of delays and setbacks. So the only way you're going to realize, listen to this here, that how you're going to get to the point where you don't lose this anymore, you must first realize it's for real. That the things around you is for real. And the way I'm going to teach you this here, 2 things I'm going to teach you in the next 3 weeks after this. 2 things I'm going to teach you. Number 1, today's lesson, is my introduction. This is one sermon preached over 4 weeks. My introduction is, who is he? Everyone say, who is he?
Who is he?
See, how many football players I got in the building that played football back in the days? How many basketball players I got in the building that played basketball? Volleyball players? Anything you played against, you watched film against it. You learned your opponent. Why we fighting a devil we never learned about? We never watched film on him. And we avoid the film because we think he's big and bad. Them big demons like called Lamar back in my day, we didn't want to watch film on Lamar because we knew they were going to whoop us. So we just avoided, we was in film, we wouldn't watch the film because we're going to watch how they going to pop up. And that's why we don't read Revelations. We think it's a book of defeat. Revelations is a book of victory. It's one of the greatest books you can read because it lets you know how powerful God is and how weak he is, how weak the devil is. Can we watch the film on the devil today?
Yes, sir.
And some of the greatest films is your past victories, your present victories, because I'm going to find out how you're going to have a future failure. I'm going to say it one time. Greatest film is your past victories, your present victories, because I'm going to find out how to give you a future failure. So the next thing I'm going to teach you, next 3 weeks, after this today, after the introduction, I'm going to teach you what he does. So that you know he's for real. And so what he does 3 things. The devil can only do 3 things. That's it. We give him all this power. Somebody say 3 things.
3 things.
And I'm going to teach what those 3 things are. I'm going to tell you how to avoid those 3 things. Amen? Can we do it today? Somebody say, who is he?
Who is he?
I got to talk to him like I want to be here. My wife ain't here, so see, a lot of times y'all notice a lot of my sermons is swayed over here. It's because she's the only person in the building. I'm preaching y'all, but she keep me pumped up. So can y'all pump me up today?
Yes, sir.
Everybody give God some praise in this place. All right. So I say, who is he?
Who is he?
So we got to go through this here. Who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Play that clip one more time, Brother Darius. I'm going to play the clip one more time. That clip just does something to me. I want y'all to put that in your spirit. Just play it one more time.
You never knew. That was his power. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Everyone say, who is the devil?
The devil.
We all heard stories about him. We heard what Mama said about him, we heard what Grandma said about him. But have you ever read what the Bible said about him? Have anybody ever read what the Bible said about him? I mean, you heard it. How many actually read it? It gives some specifics. It gives, listen, and usually it's explained through the actions of a man. He used to use the king of Tyre or the king, another king, and he explains the devil, I see you in him. I see you in him. And listen, he don't talk to Tyre, he talked to the devil in Tyre. Listen, so I want you to say, who is he? Who is he? Now listen, the word who is a summation or a collection of one's past, present, and future. If I say, who are you? What you're going to tell me is this here. And the word name, Brother Devin, is a Greek word named onome. It's a collection of who you are. When somebody say your name, if I have a Devin right here and I have another Devin right beside you, when I say Devin, I'm not thinking about that Devin. I'm thinking about everything I know about you and who you was. So who you are is a collection of your past, whether we like it or not. So the best way to change who we are is change our present and make our new past. So we got to understand. So who someone is a collection of their past. That's why when you get ready to fight a demonic attack, get to fight any type of enemy, any opponent, I didn't know who you are. Some of the greatest boxers spend more hours in film than they do in the ring. Because I want to know every jab you're going to take. I want to know your weak moments. I want to know everything about you. We need to watch film of their past. I'm going to say their past. So listen. So it's 4 dispositions I'm going to teach you about the devil. It's 4. It's introduction. It's all introduction. We're going to be out here in a few minutes. My wife should be here in a minute, so I'm going to get my strength in a minute. So, I don't know where she is, but I feel her. She's getting close. I feel her in the spirit. Somebody say 4 dispositions.
4 dispositions.
4 dispositions is important. I cannot say 4 positions is disposition because a disposition is a transfer of character. It's a transfer of atmosphere. It's a transfer of thought process. Listen, me as a schoolboy, me as a military guy, and me as an adult with children has 3 different actions, 3 different dispositions because this caused different outcomes in my life. Every area causes different outcomes. So I'm defined by my different dispositions, but I'm not limited by my last one. So don't look at me and who I was and measure who I'm going to be, but look at me who I was and guarantee who I am. So I'm a son on my past. I don't forget that I had a Clyde Everhart Sr. who made me who I am. I don't forget that I had a Freeman Hart who made me who I am. I don't forget that I had a Sharon. I don't forget them. Because it's a summation of every area of my life. So we got to look at the devil. We can't look at who he is today and think we can call him who he is. We got to all the way look back and find out where he comes from. You with me so far? So 4 dispositions. The first disposition I'm going to teach you about, get your Bibles. First disposition, give my first one, Brother Devin. He's an anointed angel. That's his first disposition. Not just an angel. We all know he was an angel. And we say that so loosely. He was a pastor. We say it so loosely. She was a praise and worship. You don't become an anointed pastor and then next week back slinging dope and smoking dope and running women. And listen, that should shake you up. Like, how did that happen? Anybody that built an anointing some sort and then wonder to yourself, how can anybody walk away from this? This, you must appreciate where he fell from before you look at his fall. Because it's on the fall that you can look at, you missed the level that he lost. And then why he ticked at you about what you're doing. You gotta follow me. Somebody say, anointed angel. Go to Ezekiel 28, 12 to 14 real quick. Ezekiel 28, 12 to 24, 12 to 14, 12 to 14. Y'all learning anything this morning? 2 of y'all, so it's worth it.
Amen.
See, I learned a long time ago, you don't try to preach to the whole house, you preach to the one God calls you to.
Amen.
So the whole house get it, they don't. Well, God, I did what I supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
I tell the ministers, what do you think about this sermon? Oh, Bishop, this. I said, did you do what God told you to do? Yes, sir, but that's all I want to hear. Don't tell me all this. They didn't give me amens. Well, one preacher told me one time, they sat on me. I said, what? Man, I came to Destiny and your whole church sat on me. Because they were trying to listen to you. If people want preaching, if y'all get up there yelling right now and say, sit down and shut up and listen. Because all that amen, you ain't heard nothing. That's preacher so preach. What he preach about? I don't know, but he so preach. Preaching ain't a hoop or a holler. It's a delivery of a word.
Amen.
When you go home and you can apply it immediately, then he preach.
Amen.
He delivered. The word said it would not go out void. Somebody say, not go out void.
Not go out void.
So listen, so number one, somebody said he was anointed.
He was anointed.
Angel. Let's read through it quick again. Ready, read.
Son of man, take up a lament concerning the king of Tyre.
And now listen, I told you that he's dealing with the king of Tyre. King Tyre was a real king. He's not, King of Tyre wasn't the devil. He's not the devil in it. But every time you see this, it also happens again in Isaiah. Write the scripture down. I think it's Isaiah 14 and 12. Write that down. You see it again. He talks to another king. And he's speaking to the devil in him the same way he did Peter. He spoke to Peter and said, get thee behind me, Satan. Peter, you're my friend, but the devil's not. Or he said, Judas is my friend. But also he said, get thee behind me, Satan. He's dealing with the demon in Peter. And now he's talking to the king of Tyre. He told Jeremiah to Ezekiel, go tell the king of Tyre these words. But he's not talking to the king. He's talking to the devil and the king. He talks to Isaiah and tells Isaiah, they go talk to this king, but he's not talking to the king. He's talking to the devil and the king. So this is a conversation, a beyond conversation. Listen, ready to read. Son of man, take up the lament concerning the king of Tyre and say to him, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You were the seal of perfection. You think the king of Tyre was perfection? He says, I'm talking to the devil. Can I tell you, sometimes women, stop yelling at your husband. Get mad at the devil in your husband. Can I tell some husbands stop? Y'all told me she was close, y'all. I felt it. Just pulled up. See, we got some kind of telepathy going here, y'all. I knew my real good walking this. Somebody give God some praise for saving lives. Y'all think I'd be crazy. I felt that woman too long. I felt it right around here somewhere. Amen. And they didn't text me or call me. I promise you, I just felt it. Listen, somebody say, that we got to realize we are so busy down you just like your daddy. Stop that mess.
Right, that's right.
Stop it.
Amen.
Stop it. You are destroying the man. Now that statement just made sense, Sister Constance. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. What you're doing, the bathwater is the devil and the baby is the man. Yeah. You get rid of the bathwater and the baby at the same time. He says, get rid of the bathwater but save the man. Good God, that's a preacher. He said, get rid of the job but save, get rid of the devil in the job but save the job. Don't throw in the bathwater and the baby. And some of y'all left relationships, they left jobs, I told you I felt my strength coming on, y'all. I felt it. I felt the shit sold up. You left all this stuff, it's because you're running from a devil. The devil is the problem, not the man. You should spend late nights up. Hot Sunday. Oh God, night. Hey, he's supposed to speak when you're speaking to the devil in the man. Baby, you want some breakfast? You would pray on me and I say, but yeah, I was attacking the devil in you, but I'm going to feed the man in you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, oh God.
Yes, sir.
Dude, he says, Jeremiah, go talk to that demon in town. We're going to fix the demon, but hopefully we save the man. Are we throwing, that statement messed me up for a long time. Now it's one of the best sermons I think I ever preached one day. Are we throwing away the baby and the bathwater? Are we? Get rid of the child. Get rid of everything God has given you. Guess what's going to keep happening? If I got rid of every member the devil showed up in, I won't have no members.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Yeah,
He's going to keep showing up.
Yeah.
Keep showing up. Keep showing up. If you get rid of every husband, he's going to show up in every husband. Because I'm going to keep showing you, separating you from what God has. Do you know he's for real?
Yes.
And he can strongly, and I don't care how anointed I am, he get the best of me sometimes. He ain't, like I told you, I'm going to teach you one thing he can't do. One thing, if you save, you feel the Holy Ghost, he cannot possess you.
Yeah.
Because God won't share a spiritual,
Yes, sir.
he won't have a spiritual body with you. Listen, he won't not have battle. The battle is not devil and spirit, it's flesh and spirit. Don't get it wrong. Because what happens, the devil is influencing the flesh to not follow the spirit. So, me being anointed as I am, I can make you want to cuss sometimes. Because let the devil influence me and push me to get you to do something you weren't supposed to do. And now you hate me because, and I wasn't possessed. Don't get it twisted. I ain't possessed. I know what spirit in me. I don't care what you say. But the devil would push me to get you to do something that you shouldn't do. And some folks, I'm getting my lesson. I'm getting too far my lesson. Read it. Ready to read it. This is what the sovereign Lord says. You were the seal of perfection. Somebody say, an anointed angel. You was the seal of perfection, full of wisdom, perfect in beauty. Somebody say, he was created by God. Somebody say, he was. Now you got to think about that when you say it. Stop just loose lipping stuff. Everything God created was good. Y'all come on with it. Now somebody will read the Bible. Everything God created was good. Everything God created was good. So at one point, he was good. He was good. He was perfect. Full of wisdom. Perfect in beauty. I got two things I'm going to tell you there. Just because they're perfect don't make them great.
Yeah.
And listen, and just because they're perfect don't mean they won't mess up.
Right.
So stop leaning on false perfection and lean on their spiritual connection. So just because I'm doing good now don't mean I won't fail you later. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 100% man, 100% spirit. I don't know which one's going to be over today, but I might mess up one day. So don't get so caught up in me when you let me move you from God. Okay, I'm going to say it one time. Don't get so caught up in me that you let me move you from God. Any man can fail you. So, someone, I want you to realize upon this point that he was an anointed angel. He was created by God. He was beautiful. Not just that, keep reading. You were in Eden. Now listen, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you. And we won't go over all the stones. But somebody say, he was full of stones. Not only were you created by God, but listen, you were adorned by God. Write that down. Satan, adorned by God. Say, Minister Shayla, you cheating. You cheating. I can't go see my wife. You're going to go see yours. I rebuke you. Somebody say, adorned by God. Anytime the priests had these ornaments on them, these same priests, if you look in the book of Exodus, they adorned the priests with these different jewelries. It means, listen to it, that he adorned them, he elevated them, he anointed them. Not only did I create you, I anointed you. I anointed you. You was my good boy. You was my good one. You was my Jacob. You was my Isaac. You was my good boy. I'm gonna help you out. Sometimes your best child will break your heart. Don't put all your heart into one forgetting another one. He's my good boy. Adorned him. You're doing good. I created you. Beautiful, perfect. You did good. So now I anointed you. Gave you all the rubies and all the sapphires and all the, you're good. You preach good. You teach good. You're anointed. So I say you're appointed. Now listen. The next one, keep reading. One more time. Go to the next one. You were anointed as guardian Sebel, for so I ordained you. and you are on the holy mountain. God said, I created you, I adorned you, and I appointed you. I put you over that church. Don't you think if I go crazy right now and mess up, God gonna say, what? I created you. I anointed you. I appointed you. And you disappointed me.
Wow.
Don't you think it broke God's heart? That my good boy, Lucifer himself. See, we use the word Lucifer, it sounds so bad. You know what Lucifer means? Shining star. He messed up a good name.
Wow.
How many of y'all mess up a good name? He, Lucifer. I used to be, if it was back in the day before devil, I would want you to name me, don't name me Jesus, name me Lucifer. Shining star.
Wow.
Shining star. You done messed up. New Destiny was a good name. I don't want God to say you messed up a good name. You done messed up so much. Nobody want to name their church New Destiny nowhere in the world because you messed it up so bad. What's your last name? Is people running from your last name because your family messed up everywhere? Have you messed up a good name? This is so it's Lucifer.
Lucifer.
So now listen. He was an anointed angel. Let me keep going. And now, just when he's an anointed angel, that was number one, created by God. Number two, they all right? You get you a kiss?
No.
Yeah, you joking. So I can shift from the spirit to flesh. Shift from the, I can do it. Back to the spirit. Ordained by God. Now, adorned by God, ordained by God. Second one, somebody say sin-filled Satan.
Sin-filled
Satan.
So he was anointed. You gotta keep up with me. Is this boring, y'all?
No.
So he was sin-filled Satan. So first he was an anointed angel, but now he was sin. How did you go from anointed to sin-filled? Because maybe your anointing got to your head. How do you shift from anointed? Because religion is where we last saw God. We get to that very pinnacle place that we think that we empower in purpose, and now we don't need God in this place. And now I got it from here. Now I can ride the bike on my own because I done got a couple of different turns and I think I got it. And now daddy let go and you fall and bust your head wide open because you left the connection. God don't take my training wheels off. And keep your hands on me all the way. Because this is one background I can never do by myself.
Right.
Don't ever get so appointed to where you leave God because you think,
Yes, sir.
sin. Listen, I'm not just teaching you to let you recognize the devil is for real. I'm teaching you to let you recognize that you got the devil in you if you don't watch out.
Yeah, that's real.
We can shift out. Somebody said to me a long time ago, Baptist school, that once saved, always saved. What happened to him? If it can happen to him, it can happen to him.
Right.
And you notice I'm not making a lot of references to y'all. I'm preaching about me because I'm letting this something marinate in my life and let me know I don't want to become shift from Lucifer to Satan.
Amen.
Don't want to do that. Somebody say sin-filled.
Sin-filled.
Satan.
Satan.
So you find this here in Ezekiel 28:15-17. Put it up for me. Some people say, you crazy, preaching a whole sermon about the devil. You give him too much glory. I say, you don't give him enough credit. And give him glory, but I will give him credit. Because as long as he got credit, you know what to watch for. So real quick, I'm not just preaching one, I'm preaching 4 weeks about it. But best believe I'm coming back with the most dynamic message I can about the Holy Spirit. I'm preaching this great reel of success. Ready to read?
You were blameless in your ways. From the day you were created to wickedness was found.
Wickedness did what?
Found in you.
Wickedness did what?
Was found in you.
You were great. You were great, man. You were the top of the line. And wickedness found you. Let's just know how wickedness found you. Keep going.
Through your widespread.
Ready to read.
Through your widespread trade, you were filled with violence in your sin. So I drove.
Hold up, stop. So through your widespread trade. Now listen. I'm missing. Go Ezekiel 28. This is not what I'm looking for. Keep reading.
So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God.
Go to 17 verse. 17 verse. Go 17 verse. I'm sorry. 17 verse.
Your heart became
Ready, read.
Your heart became proud on account of your beauty.
Say it again.
Your heart became proud on account of your beauty.
One more time.
Your heart became proud on account of your beauty.
Your heart became proud. Listen to this here. Proud. Anytime you what proud, I want you to think of yeast. Anytime you think of proud, think of yeast. Yeast does what to bread.
Makes it rise.
And the scripture talks about over in 2 Corinthians, it talks about that the yeast messes up the whole dough. Unleavened bread is flat bread, so we eat the unleavened bread because we got to realize we can never get pride in us. Proud rises because of what you're doing. You done got bigger than your pants and you think you're better than God. You done got pride. How do you get pride? People speaking to you and tell you you're doing this and you're doing that, and you get it twisted and you think you're doing it yourself.
That's right.
That's why when people get like that, I say, well, I get in my face. Why? Because I don't ever want, I'll tell you quick, young preacher, I've been doing it for years. Man, give the Lord, give God the praise. And I don't just say that because I'm trying to give false humility. No, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle what the attack can be without him.
Amen.
So the pride, the moment you shift and you start thinking that you got it under control. You got it under control. Somebody said you don't have it under control.
You don't have to.
So somebody said pride
Pride.
of your beauty. You're beautiful. Boy, you sure can preach. Everybody calling you to preach. You get all kind of engagements. And I watch if I think he's not right, he can't go. She can't go. You trying to control me. No. I'm trying to make sure you don't control you.
Amen.
Because of pride and get the best of you. Bishop told us, son, you can't go there. Yes, sir. Yeah, I told him I'm coming to Cold Spring. I said, I'm going to go to Cold Spring, get by Pastor Freeman over there at Hopewell. He said, nope. I said, yes, sir. He said, wait, whoa. I said, oh, what he said? I was saying you couldn't go down there. Just know it not that way. You got to go start a church. No, that's not my problem. So I said, huh? You sure? Because listen, your pride will get you in trouble. Because it gets you to do something that you could never do in the first place because folks pump you up. Listen, I got to keep going. Hope this helps y'all.
Yes, sir.
Keep going. Somebody said, number one, the pride got in the way. Now this is what it does. Keep reading. And you, ready to read.
And you corrupted your wisdom because of your slender.
You come to your what?
Corrupted your wisdom.
Write the word wisdom down, real quick. Write the word wisdom down. And word wisdom is what you know. You know what's right. You know you couldn't run that church. You know you couldn't keep that wife. I told y'all last week that everything in my life God gave it to me. Did I tell you that? Not last week, I'm sorry. Week before last. Did I tell you that? Boy, you know everything in your life is because I gave it to you. Who do you think you are now acting like you deserve it? You know the right thing to do. You know wisdom, but you flopped it because now I'm trading my wisdom, I'm corrupting my wisdom because of my splendor. Your head got so big you done forgot that you didn't get yourself there. Keep going. So I threw you to the earth. Where did he fall?
To the earth.
So now we find him present day. So he went from being an anointed angel to not just an anointed angel, what was the second one? A sin-filled Satan. Third one, we found the next one. Now he on earth, this is my favorite one, he's a disguised demon. Everyone said disguised? Oh, so it wasn't by chance that you don't, because he don't have a fork. He don't have red skin. He don't have fiery eyes. Last time I checked, the one who had fiery eyes was who? Oh, God. Bible study is starting this Wednesday. We're going to have to put the candy up because I'm playing. Jesus! Hair like wool, eyes like... Thank you, Holy Ghost. Somebody help me out this morning. Listen, somebody say, a disguised demon. Go to 2 Corinthians 11:14. 2 Corinthians 11:14. Go to real quick. Write it down. We almost over time. I'm sitting here. I'm supposed to be done right now, y'all. Y'all messing me up. 9 minutes over time. Give me a few minutes. I'll help you out here. Everybody say a disguised demon. 2 Corinthians 11:14. Come on, Brother Devin, get me out of here. We're finna go. I got 1 point. I'm finna go. 14, you there? Everyone, ready to read? Ready to read, real loud. Ready to read.
And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light.
He masquerades as what? Write the word masquerade down. What masquerade means transform into another form. Transform into another form. The word light means one that is good. He masquerades as your best friend, your homeboy. He look like your mama. He look like your sister, your cousin. He don't look like a pitchfork demon. He look like the pastor, the preacher. Look at the deacons and usher boards. He look like the president of the United States of America. He look like a man who walks around who knows like he loves you, but then he turns and shoots a whole entire congregation. He looks like a man who would pet your child and grow him up and find out the whole time he was molesting children a long time. He don't look like what you think he look like. And this is how he gets amongst us and between us because we don't recognize him. He says, Judas, I call friend. Peter, enemy. Judas, friend. Peter, enemy. Judas, friend. Peter, enemy. Don't make sense. He said, you know me because I'm going to push you to your level. And you don't know me because the one who ain't like me is going to try to hold you back. Peter, no, Jesus, you can't go. Judas, go. Are you confusing your demons because your partners is pardoning you to do something that you really ain't ready to do, but your enemies is pushing you? Somebody better celebrate their enemies. He says, I'm disguised. I'm disguised. I look like the car you thought you wanted, but not the one God called you to. I look like the house that you ain't ready for, and you trying to leave the one that God gave you. I look like the boyfriend you always wanted, but God blessed you with the man you never thought you needed. Are you confusing blessings for gifts? He's disguised, masquerading as an angel of light. He looks like he's holy. He looks like he's awesome. And I'm going to give you a quick telltale right now. If it's pulling you to an area that's of confusion, it's not God. It's not God. God gives vision and provision. He is not the author of confusion. Just because she twitch and twerk and look like the woman you always wanted on a Bud Light commercial means she's your wife. What are you doing? Listen. Somebody say, not only, I can't listen. One man told me a long time ago, Daddy, he said, son, whenever you preach, he said, never lead the people in their sins. He said, always get them out. So even though I'm coming next week, I'm going to teach you what he do, I'm going to tell you how he overcome it. Can I teach you today he's already defeated? Yeah. Because not only he's an anointed angel, not only is he a sent-filled Satan, not only is he a disguised demon, but he also a defeated devil. He's defeated. He's defeated. But listen, that's future tense in your life. Because you can defeat him, but you got to know how to defeat him. Can I teach you how to defeat him real quick? Real quick. I want you to go real quick. Defeat a demon, go Luke 10:17. Real quick, we got it. Luke 10:17, my baby upstairs. Let me go give her a hug. Luke 10:17. Luke 10:17. 18, go to 18, go to 18. Jesus is talking to the disciples. Disciples came back. Go ahead and go back to 17 because disciples came back and they gave some amazing testimony. They said, Jesus! The 70 returned and Joy said, Lord! Even the demons, we healed the sick, we gave sight to the blind. He said, he said, even the demons submitted to us in your name. We spoke your name and the demons bowed down. He says he's a defeated demon. Somebody says he's a defeated demon. Listen, Jesus smiled. Because he had a reminiscent thought. I wasn't always on earth. He smiled because he remembered the day he had his angel wings on. He smiled. He remembered days that his daddy looked down and said, Lucifer, what have you done? Lucifer, what have you done? He smiled because he remembered that the men on earth had now reminded themselves that they got authority over an angelic body that should have authority over them, but he's out of place. And when you're out of place, you lose your power. Can I preach real quick? He said, I remember that now I'm excited because my now disciples know that they're stronger than the demon that's on the earth. He says, I remember this thought of a reminder of a day that, listen, go ahead and go to the next one. He replied, I saw him fall. He says, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. I remember the day he fell out of place. I remember the day he lost his power. I remember the day he had no more strength left. If every man remember now what you just said, even the demons bow in Jesus' name. He has no power because he's out of place. Can I preach with you? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Oh! Good God Almighty. I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power. No. See, in another version, it interchanged the words authority and used the word power. And Sister Tamika, in my heyday, when it tripped me up, in my due day, I know there's no way he can say that I give you power over something that got power. Because he's saying we both got power. So it gotta be a twisted game, it gotta be something different. Can I talk real quick? Because the word power, he says, I've given you authority. To overcome authority. I give, good God Almighty. I've given. If you know how much power you got, you'll walk to your child and say, devil, get out of my baby. You'll walk to your marriage. I'll give you authority to trample snakes. I'll give you power. So what's the power? This power is not just any power. This is the problem with the English language. The English language is so lazy that it's using only one word to mean multiple words. But if it's translated within the Greek and Hebrew, he wouldn't have not used power. He said, I've given you exousia. Exousia. I've given you, see, I don't want confusion. So I give clarity. I've given you exousia. Right there with the E-X-O-U-S-I-A. E-X-O-U-S-I-A. And listen, this is so important. And every praise will speak, listen to me. Every youth pastor, every deacon, every usher, every child of God, hear me good. He says, I saw him fall out of position. The reason why he bowed, because he fell out of position. He fell out of exousia. He has power, but it's not exousia. As long as you have exousia, as long as you have exousia, you have authority over him. But if you move out of exousia, you're gonna fall. Someone say exousia. Exousia by definition is the power of rule or government. Mama, God does everything in decent and in order. Prophets, God does everything in decent and in order. And when we get out of order, we lose power.
Yes, sir.
I've given you order.
Yes, sir.
I've given you exousia. Governmental order. Listen, you can't run a government without order. There's a head, there's leaders, there's followers. Know your place. If I called you to preach, know your place. If I called you to sing, know your place. If I called you to serve, know your place. Your power is in your. When I was in the military, when certain authority came around, we ordered and we always made note of the authority. If you know your place, you know your power comes from order. Listen.
Yes, sir.
Say exousia. Someone say exousia. So I'm giving you, put it back up, Darius. I've given you authority. I've given you a place. I've put you in a governmental body. I don't want you to want to be the praise minister you can't sing. I don't want you to be the youth pastor you can't teach. Get in your place of power. And the devil wanted to be God, and I told him you ain't God. Just be an angel. Just be a sports leader. Just be what I called you. Your place of power is where I place you.
Yes, sir.
He says, I've given you authority in your position, your governmental position. It's a governmental body. This is not democracy. This is theocracy. God is the head and we're the body. Listen, he says, the trample snakes and scorpions to overcome all the power of the enemy. So it's power. This power wouldn't have been used if this was Greek Hebrew. I've given you exousia over dunamis. I'll give you exousia over dunamis. Write the word dunamis down real quick. Flip it up. Write the word dunamis. D-U-N-A-M-I-S. D-U-N-A-M-I-S. Listen to this. Somebody said, I got dunamis power. Yeah, good thing you didn't say that too loud. Somebody said, I don't want dunamis power. I want exousia power. What's dunamis power? Real quick. Dunamis power is inherent power residing in a thing by virtue and nature. God has said, I've given you authority on everything who walk out of order. Everything who walks on their own power. Anything that think it can make it without me, I give you power. If there's Satan, if there's a boss in your job, if there's a man who owns a car lot, if there's a man, if they're not in authority, if they're not in position, you have authority. You can take it. Wow! You can take it. I don't care if they can't have what's yours. You have authority. You have authority. Can I finish this off? Can I put the icing on cake real quick? Can I put the icing on cake real quick? So the question should be, everyone should say, how do I stay in order? Everybody say it real quick, so I think you want to know. Everybody say, how do I stay in order? Real quick, Brother Dominic, real quick, go to 1 Corinthians 5, 10 and 5. 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, I'm sorry. Ready to read. Oh. Wait. Someone say, how do I stay in order? Because I don't want to lose my power. That's it. Don't waste the scripture. This is it. Ready to read? We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. Everything that tells you something that's against what God said for you. God said don't smoke, don't smoke. God said don't drink, don't drink. God said don't lie, don't lie. God said don't cheat, don't cheat. Whatever God say do, when some other thought enters to your mind, whether it's a whisper from a spiritual nature or a person who's sitting in front of you, no matter what, I demolish it. Devil, you are lying, the truth ain't in you. You go to the hell where you come from. I am the head, not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm a lender, not a borrower. He says, demolish it. He didn't stop that on. Keep reading, ready to read. Demolish the arguments and every pretension that sets itself against the knowledge of God. Now listen, like this last one. Ready to read. And ready to read.
And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ.
And just in case it get in my head, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Capture that thought. Say, no, I'm not. 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 He didn't stop there. Keep going, because just in case it slips from your thought to your actions, be ready to watch it.
And we will be
Ready to read, and we will.
And we will be ready to punish every act of disobedience once you're obedient.
If I do mess up, I'm going to beat myself into submission. I'm going to beat my body, make it my slave. So when I get through preaching, I won't be this. Everybody say the devil is real. He's an anointed angel. He is a sin-filled Satan. He's a disguised demon. But he's a defeated devil. As long as you keep yourself in order, the moment you leave the order God has placed you in, you lose your power, and then you lose your presence and his presence. Father, which art in heaven, holy is thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. But most importantly, lead us not, God. Don't allow me to be led by the temptations of the devil. Lead us not into temptation and deliver